to summon the cosmic Christ Father soul in the spiritual house is to establish order upon the Christ Father soul, the cosmic Christ Father soul's spiritual grounds. What is spirit? Spirit is the non-physical part, like air, of a person, which is the seat of the person's emotions and character, the soul. Soul and spirit are essentially one and the same thing. But what does it mean when it says the seat of emotions and character? Seat? Think of it as this, or think of it in this regard. A life-giving position. It's a life-giving position. Air seeps inside of thine body and gives it its abilities to be here. Yes? Or it gives it its abilities to move properly, breathe. Of course, simple things. I'm just trying to think of more scientific words in the more deeper sense to give you, helping bring the depth to the surface more. The seat of emotions and character, a life-giving position. Where does your firmly held belief reside? Or where does your firmly held opinions reside? Did you know your firmly held opinion and or your firmly held beliefs naturally? Did you know that your natural firmly held belief and or your natural firmly held opinion is God? The actual true God, the personification of righteous energy, the personification of love, the personification of life-giving energy. This is what your firmly held belief is naturally. You don't have to believe it. I'm just putting an idea into the world. I'm sharing ideas. I'm just putting this in front of you. Just putting an idea out here. I don't need no credit for it. I don't necessarily need any appreciation for it. Do not tell me thank you. If anybody ever finds these videos and finds them as something to be valued, don't thank me. Want to know why I don't want you to thank me? Because you're not all the way free yet. And I don't want to welcome a prisoner into my life. Because you become the average of the 5 people you associate with most. You say thank you to somebody like me, and I say you're welcome. You, as what you are, you fake you, play God. Why can't you just be God? Why you got to play God? Stop playing God and be God. I want to share this idea with you. I'm going to call this video the first steps to destruction. The first steps to destruction. Keep in mind what I just said about the spirit and the cosmic Christ Father. Keep that in mind for a second. Spirit is non-physical part, air, the seat of emotions and character. Your natural, firmly held belief is the personification of righteousness. Keep those thoughts in mind for a second. Take this with you. The first steps towards destruction. Destruction. Why do I keep saying destruction? Think Romans 12, 1 and 2. Or think the angel number, 555s. Change. Think about it. The word destruction, what does it mean? To alter something in its current state to a completely different one. Metanoia. Altering something that's in its current state to a completely different one. 555s. You know, in my whole game plan, my belief system pillar 5 is the gangsters. I have a plan to unite every gang in this world into one gang, AGDs. AGDs? Yeah. I'm stealing people from the devil, first off. And nextly, I'm stealing the gangster disciples' name, the soul gangster disciples. I'm stealing their name and I'm turning it into something else. So instead of you just being a gangster disciple, you're going to be AGD. Translation, Africa's greatest defenders. Africa's greatest defenders. And when I say Africa, I'm saying it with an AF, R-A-K-A, Africa. Translation, first, sun, soul. Af meaning first. Ra meaning sun, Egyptian mythology. And Ka meaning soul, like the Merkaba, light, soul, body. Mer meaning light. Ka meaning soul, and Ba meaning body, light, soul, body. Merkaba, Africa, first, sun, soul. So in other words, I'm turning every gangster in this world into the soul's greatest defenders. Or the first son's soul's greatest defenders. That's what I'm turning every gangster on this planet into. Melanated gangsters. I just wanted you to have those thoughts real quick. The first steps towards destruction. Why do I say destruction? When I say destruction, because who I'm going to war with, I am going to war with you all in your minds. I am waging war on your mental psyche spaces. This is what I'm doing with these words. Every video I posted is literally me attacking your mind, heart, psyche spaces. This is what I'm doing. And I'm going to win because I know how to now. Moving along. So, destruction in your mind, heart, psyche spaces. When I say destruction, I mean change, altering something from one state in its current state to a completely different one. Then I added Romans 12:1 and 2. Why did I say Romans 12:1 and 2? If you wish to be transformed, which is another concept of destruction. Destruction is to transform something from one thing to another thing. If you wish to be transformed, be not of this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. So, I'm going to destroy you all. Romans 12:1 and 2, metanoia. I'm going to destroy you all. Romans 12:1 and 2, metanoia. But where am I going to destroy you, and how am I going to destroy you? I'm going to destroy you in your mind, heart, psyche spaces. And why? So it can destroy the fogs and the veils clouding your vision of the natural righteousness deriving from the God source that which you are. Thou art is the true Father in heaven. Thou art is the true Father in heaven. What do I mean by art? Your spirit and your soul. Your natural firmly held belief. Your natural conviction. In other words, my conviction is your conviction, and your conviction is my conviction. And I run this spiritual realm, 50 Cent voice from the Bulletproof game. I just don't see how you all forget that. Well, I actually do now, because there's something attacking your minds all day long, trying to ensure that you will forget. So this is why I just posting videos like this, just posting videos of me talking, saying things all out, that's going to obligate you to remember who thou truly art. The first steps towards destruction. So, I just want to put this plan online for you real quick. So, what are the first steps towards destruction? 7 things. First, the destruction of racism. Second, the destruction of feminism. Third, the destruction of foul sexuality. Fourth, the destruction of what I like to classify as the nerd geek belief system pillar or belief system obelisk. This belief system categorizes the rich, middle class, and all of ye who have been poverty-stricken due to colonial racism foundation or due to the colonial racism foundation worldwide. The colonial racist foundation? Yeah. The global colonial racism foundation. That's what it is. And when the Christ Father is summoned in the Spirit's house, that their foundation gets destroyed. And then the people in which it is holding captive, i.e. my belief system obelisk 4, they will be pulled back to me as if I am a magnet, as they are a piece of metal. Belief system pillar 5, triple fives, change, Romans 12:1 and 2. The gangsters. In my opinion, the most important belief system pillar on this list. Not as much as important it is going to be to destroy the 7th one, but the gangsters on this obelisk list or belief system pillar list, I find to be the most important. The reason why, they're going to help me take the churches in the mosque on this continent. You're going to help me do this. Just putting an idea in the air. You don't have to buy it. You don't have to do anything. I'm just putting it in the air. You don't even have to believe it's going to work. I'm just putting it in the spiritual air. I'm just putting it in the non-physical part of the people. That's all I'm doing with these words. Should I say entertainment purposes only? Nah. This is me going to war with your minds by just putting words into the spiritual air. Moving along. So here else is what I'm going to get the gangsters to do. Once I get them all to unite, I'm going to tell you how it's all going to work in a second. Like I said, the first steps towards destruction. Destruction, Romans 12:1 and 2, metanoia. Always remember why I say the words I say, because I only speak with a purpose. I only speak with purpose. I posted all of these videos, no matter how weak and low energy they are due to my own personal injuries right now, and trying to push it out here, even with them, no matter. This conviction plants, game over. Moving along. So, belief system pillar 5 is the gangsters. One of the most important pieces, the 5-dimensional implant. You're going to help me do this. How so? Because once the racism is destroyed, I'm gonna just tell you right now, once racism is destroyed, we'll have free range to move however we want. Reason why, once racism is destroyed, because once racism is destroyed, there goes that entire global colonial racist foundation, meaning we will have the abilities to move around in the streets like the Hebrew Israelites or something. Every melanated gang on the planet will be united, starting with the North American continent. You're going to help me take every church and every mosque on this continent and ensure that they learn soul supremacy, righteousness supremacy. Like I said, I am going to war with you all in your minds. Where do you get the bulk of your influence from? These churches and these mosques. But here's the thing though, all of these churches and these mosques are standing on top of a racist colonial foundation globally, which is causing them to drive our God family body in the wrong direction. So now it's time to put the God family body back together so we can pull the sword out and destroy it or sheathe it. What do I mean by the sword? Those who are trying to preserve the racist colonial foundation. What do I consider them as? So-called white people. I'm just going to force you to repent. That's why I keep saying these words out loud. I don't necessarily care what's going on. America's collapsing. The system is collapsing. I'm not trying to save anything. I want to destroy everything. I wish to destroy everything. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it. Moving along. So, belief system pillar 6 or belief system obelisk 6. Why do I keep saying obelisk? Obelisk is, in Egyptian knowledge, a pillar. So I'm just saying another word for pillar. Something that needs to be tore down. Pronto. The sixth one being the tribes. All 5,000 tribes in this world. All of them. They will all be united into one soul tribe family again. And then, the seventh belief system pillar. The one who needs to be attacked the most. In my opinion, it's not the most important. It's just the one that needs to be destroyed the most. The religions. All 4,200 to 10,000 religions on this planet. All need to be destroyed and obligated to accept the soul standard, soul principle, soul pride. And once the cosmic Christ soul or the cosmic Christ Father soul is summoned within the spiritual house, BKA reality. Where is air located? Reality. Once this here Christ Spirit Father, Christ Soul Father, Cosmic Christ Soul Father, you can call it whatever, is summoned, the destruction of this here colonial racist world will be inevitable. And from there, the gangs can move the way they naturally desire to move. If the influence and or the conviction plants firmly enough, which is what I'm going to explain in detail as to how it's going to. Like I said, I start by putting this message out here, right? And this message alone is going to summon the cosmic Christ Father. This message alone is going to summon him. And once he's summoned, there goes feminism and racism at the same time. But then there leaves the other 5, yeah? But that's when we get into action. Take note, if you would. Those who are of this so-called belief system pillar 4 that I got categorized, they will be our foundation, so to speak. The rich, the middle class, and the poverty-stricken worldwide, who are only as such due to this racial colonial field, you see. So, what do you think they're going to become? Belief system pillar 4, or those who are I consider them the nerd geek culture, neglected earthrealm dreamers or gamers evading everyday knowledge, and or gentlemen evading everyday knowledge. You don't have to say gamers or geeks or nerds or nothing. It's just know that it's all people. What do you think the people in any said field, how do you think they're going to perform next when what is causing them to move in the wrong direction is no longer doing so? What do you think is going to happen? See, I'm giving a lot of power to the gangs in this here scenario of mine's. And I know how dangerous that is. But how dangerous do you think it can be when there are people who can move freely? You follow what I'm saying? Planting the conviction alone is going to cause everybody in the continent to go home and start farming. To go home and stop serving. To leave what this is behind. Go home and stay there. Everybody in the continent. Ain't gonna be no wars, because you're gonna end up fighting me in the mind. It ain't gonna be no, well, when the conviction plants, that is. When my firmly held belief and or firmly held opinion it plants, that means that your natural firmly held beliefs and your natural firmly held opinions will also be planted. If that makes sense to you thus far. Thus, with that being said, we'll all be standing towards one goal, one aim, one purpose, and one cause. Taking our world back and leading it the right way. Humanity will be the leader of the world, of the free world, the actual true free world. The world that God has its control over. So, here's some fun details maybe. The way I'm going to encourage the gangsters to help me put soul supremacy, the soul supremacy knowledge or soul supremacist knowledge in the churches and the mosques across the continent. The way I'm going to do it, once I use this here online presence, all these posts and all these videos, all this stuff that I'm here making, it's going to cause a lot of the foul, corrupt systems to collapse, which will then give us the abilities to move freely. You follow me? But the thing is, the foundation must be gathered first so I can reach the gangs properly. The foundation must be gathered first so I can reach the gangs properly. Meaning a group of people who are going to be willing enough to help me go through or walk through neighborhoods like we Hebrew Israelites or something, just Israel. Why do the Hebrew Israelites have the ability to march through the streets in the hundreds as they do, knowing the kind of foundational grounds we are all standing upon? How do they have permission to move throughout their own world as they do? How do the Hebrew Israelites have that kind of ability or have that kind of power? How is this possible? You see, I'm not necessarily trying to turn this into a medieval age or nothing like that. I just want to go home. But beside the point, how is it possible that they have the ability to roam like that? Thing is, it's possible for them to roam like that. How can it be possible for my group of, you can call them nerds and geeks if you want to, neglected earthrealm dreamers, and gamers evading everyday knowledge, and gentlemen evading everyday knowledge, you can call them that if you want to. How is it possible for my group of righteous individuals to be able to march through neighborhoods to reach gang members in order to reach everybody as much as we possibly can before we can move on to the next step, to where it's going to be a little bit entertaining, which is what I'm getting ready to tell you, and how I'm going to create battle rap pastors, so to speak. How can we get it to a point where we can move freely enough to be able to put such ideas into the world? You follow what I'm saying? Or into the continent, if possible. Don't let me lose you. My thing is, when I gather my foundation and my 6 arms, this is how I will be able to take your churches and your mosque and then unite all the tribes in the world once I have all of the religions in the world, or at least starting with the North American continent religious believers, accepting the soul principle versus The principles of something outside of your natural convictions. How about that? Unto my great brother, Geechee Gotti, may you live well. I'm going to challenge you someday. And when I defeat you, I'm going to turn you into a battle rap pastor. To my great brother, known by New Jersey Twerk, I'm going to defeat you. And when I do, you'll become a battle rap pastor. I'm going to defeat you all, every last one of you, including people like DNA, Charlie Clips. I'm going to go against all of you when I am ready. And when I defeat you, you all become battle rap pastors. And every gang that you are tied to, they will be marching with me to take over and dominate every church and mosque on this continent. Because even when racism goes, guess what's still going to be around? All these little religious beliefs. And we all going to need to have the knowledge necessary to crack our people out of these curses. Going to war with your minds. I am going to war with your minds. Where do you get your influence from? The churches and the mosques primarily. When the Christ Father is summoned in the Spirit's house, it establishes order upon the soul's grounds, meaning whatever is right there currently gets destroyed. And everything that is giving, or everything that this here foundational grounds is giving the power to, will also go with it, i.e. feminism. What's stopping our women from realizing the power of righteousness in which they are. Righteousness? No, just don't. At any rate, what's blocking our brethren from seeing the personification of righteousness as energy? The colonial grounds of racism. What's stopping our dear sisters from seeing the personification of righteousness energy? The colonial grounds of feminism. You might as well tie it with the colonialism. But let's never forget, where does all of them derive from? Where do all of them derive from? Where do all 7 of these things derive from? They derive from this play god outside of you. You want to brand them as the white people? Sure. But where do the white people get the idea from? That's always going to be my question, because I see humanity as innocent here. As much killing and death in which we see humanity on the surface level causing, why are they doing it? Like I said, I'm going to war with your minds. And when I win, I will destroy the fog and the veil blocking you from realizing or seeing or spectating or recognizing the power of the righteousness energy. My soul god of righteousness behavior is going to take over your world. These are just some subliminal details as to how I see this manifesting or playing out. You all are fantastic, and you just need to know why you are. So I'm going to force you to. I'm waging war on your minds. Me waging war on your minds is forcing you all and or obligating you all and or trick talking you all into believing that all of you are all the true God all at once. How would we all operate together if we operate off of one universal law principle, the art of love? The law of love. What is love literally? Air. Spirit. God. I'm just never going to give up on you. Shalom, shalom, shalom. I wanted to share these ideas with you. Take them with you however you'd like to. The first steps towards destruction. Or in other words, the first steps towards actual change. Romans 12, 1 and 2. Peace, love, unity, and advancement to you all, my family.